Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. 7 topics for this video. The first one has to do with Japan, and unfortunately for Japan, for the Japanese people, let's put it this way, their government drags them probably in a armed confrontation with either, or maybe not even either, we take Russia, China, North Korea. Not because necessarily those guys will attack them, but Japan's boss, which is Al Capone, tells them that they have to push it until these guys will snap, and then they can call it an unprovoked attack on Japan. That's the first one. A Russian plane violated Japan's airspace. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And what the Japanese military did? Well, you're gonna see. Next topic. Russian troops seem to, according to the Germans, use Chinese armored vehicles. Is it true? Well, we're gonna find out. Third one. Russian forces are getting near Vuhledar or Vuhledar, and that is in South Donetsk Oblast. And it seems like they are about to encircle it. The situation, it's not looking very bright for the West. Then we find out, according to the Ukrainians, that in Kursk, the Ukrainians are advancing. The Russians said they stopped the Ukrainian advances a while ago. And the Ukrainians keep saying that actually, no, we are still in an offensive. Well, a new barrage of Russian drones and missiles on Ukraine last night. And we're going to assess the damages. Because you see, the Ukrainians have a high rate of destroying the Russian drones and missiles. But somehow, when 1 or 2 missiles or drones escape the air defense systems of the guys in the West, somehow they destroyed and they caused so much destruction in power distribution, in settlements, consumers. And that gets me to another topic, and the last one. Russia to increase its military spending in 2025. Yesterday I made a video with the Ukrainians increasing the budget with about 16% or so. That would get them to about almost $90 billion. Remember, that money doesn't come from Ukraine necessarily. So the Russian says, you know what, we're going to increase it too, it seems like. And the amount I will show you in relation to other countries' defense budgets. So let's start with the first topic. It comes from Insider. A Russian spy plane violated Japan's airspace 3 times, driving it to scramble its fighters and fire flares. So, will they down it like Erdogan did with that, Sukhoi 25 in North Syria? We'll find out. So what do you think will happen? First, this is what these guys report. This is what Japan said, right? So I don't just take it as it is. Do I think that these guys violated? Yeah, it's possible. Probable? Yeah, I think it's probable. But hey, I don't trust only one source, especially when the source is 100% in the hands of the guys who really want to expand something and they want to escalate something, create problems in that area. And yeah, because they live in the area with Alaska. Japan said a Russian surveillance plane violated its airspace 3 times on Monday. Why don't you shoot it down and see what happens? The Japanese Air Self-Defense Force scrambled fighters and fired flares in response. A Chinese military plane violated Japan's airspace last month. A Russian military spy plane violated Japan's airspace multiple times on Monday, prompting it to scramble fires and fire flares in response. The incident comes a month after another incident last month in which a Chinese military surveillance plane directly violated Japanese airspace for the first known time. Well, Japan continue conducting drills with your master, continue poking and the bear and sanction the bear because the master tells you, and then there will be consequences because Russia is not Libya, Russia is not, I don't know, Iraq or Afghanistan or no little fish. Russia is different, but hey, you will be caught in the middle and you're gonna be bombarded. Not your master. The same is happening in Ukraine. Not the masters are attacked. No. The masters are using, as I used to say, in a cage with the lions and tigers in a circus. The tamer or the trainer or the clown over there working with those animals had two tools. One was a long whip and the other one was a long pole, like about, I don't know, 10 feet long, and he was poking and hitting and maneuvering the lion, and the lion was fighting the whip and the pole, the long stick, until sometimes the lions just went past it and would attack the source and severely injure or kill the source. So the Americans, the source, are using Ukraine, Japan, and other imbeciles to poke the bear in this case. And what do you think the bear will do? They know who handles this. We'll see if they're going to smack this. Why? It seems like only like this we're gonna stop this garbage, because these guys are gonna push on and on and on, and the lion doesn't wanna follow orders or commands. All right, so let's see what other details we have on this incursion, or at least alleged incursion, reported incursion. The Japanese Defense Ministry reported Monday's violation of its airspace, confirming that the Russian military Il-38 patrol aircraft flew into Japanese airspace off Rebun Island and northwest of Hokkaido, Japan's northmost main island. That is by Kurilos, the Northern Territories. The spy plane entered the airspace 3 times, Japan noted, for periods of 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 1 minute respectively. In response to its incursion, the Japanese Air Defense Forces scrambled its F-35, F-15 fighter jets and fired flares to warn off the Russian aircraft. Tokyo also said it strongly protested the incident via diplomatic channels with Moscow, and Russia protested your idiotic sanctions. But you didn't care, they won't either. A map published by the Japanese Defense Ministry showed the Il-38. This is the map, these guys. This is what it did right here. You see, this is Hokkaido here, this is the area. All right, you got that? That is the reality. Well, keep poking, you're gonna get smacked over your beak. Next one. According to the new Voice of Ukraine, Russian troops likely using Chinese armored vehicles on front line. Now, you know that in a court of law, likely means shit. You have to go with beyond any reasonable doubt that happened. So likely Epstein killed himself, right? Or now we have what? Puff Daddy? He's gonna... Anyway, so Russian troops likely using Chinese armored vehicles on front line. My question is, what are they gonna do about it? Aren't the Ukrainians using German armored vehicles and other weapons over there? Or British or Americans, Bradleys and shit? No? So if you don't like something done to you, I heard somewhere that you don't do it to others. Is that what it is? Well, you know how that works, selectively. So yeah, that's exactly how it is. You got the other club built on bricks structure, and not only, and you can't do anything about it. They're too strong. Build open data analyst Yulia Röpke confirmed the authenticity of the images in a Telegram post on September 24 and noted that this is the first evidence of Chinese military equipment being used in Ukraine. All right, let's see. All right, Russian troops near the Chinese armored vehicles ZFB-05. Here they are. And by the way, this is Ukraine. You see, those trees are Ukraine. And see that over there, that grass is Ukraine. Now, and if you don't believe me, please build. and I'm quoting, the Russian army has for the first time used Chinese ZFB-05 armored vehicles in Ukraine. Rybke said. Now, this is a statement without might, could, what was that? Most likely. Likely. So that means they are. It's a statement. China denies supplying these vehicles. However, there are numerous African intermediaries that Russia could have used. Russia's cooperation with China. Okay, we got that one. So the first, they say they has first time used. That's a statement like, oh, that's the way it is right there. Then that's the evidence, the picture. And then China denies, but hey, there's ways for China to bypass the, how do you call it, deliveries. My point is, did you expect something else? Yes. They expect, as they did in every other attack on another country, like Yugoslavia, to be left alone, like Iraq, left alone, Afghanistan, left alone, Libya, left alone, Syria, left alone, maybe Iran, left alone, North Korea, left alone. All this must be attacked by a pack of wolves, because they are courageous and strong, but they're a pack, and the victim always left alone and small. Now, Iran is not small, obviously. The woodchuck has nuclear weapons in North Korea, and Russia can fuck you up yesterday. So, I think they say here something, they bit something that is too big to swallow, or, I don't know, barked at the wrong tree. Well, they had to. Why? Because once you had a tiger by the tail, you know, you invade, interest. You expect that, hey, it's going to go this way. What are you going to do? There's no way turning back. Why? An empire cannot show weaknesses. And the empire, which we are propagandized to think as Russia being an empire, even though another empire has about 740 military bases or deployments all around this globe, but that's not an empire. The other ones are the imperialistic ones, not these ones who pushed their defensive organization towards Russia, and not only, they intervened all over this planet. No, these are not an empire. These are just like the black energy. It's just over there. It's just helping us. It just has to be all around us to make sure that people, bad people, do not act out. But other good people can other nations and take their territories. Hint, East Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, because the fish are fighting there. All right, let's go to the next article. New Voice of Ukraine. September 24th. Russian forces attempt to encircle Vuhledar, bombarding the city. It looks happy. All right, so where is Vuhledar? Vuhledar by the Ukrainians, Vuhledar by the Russians. So this is the map of Ukraine. This is where the front line is. Just so you know, this is Kursk, where the West invaded Russia here, using the Ukrainians. And then you have Vuhledar here at the bottom between, almost in Zaporozhye Oblast, which is right here. And Vuhledar is at the bottom here in Donetsk Oblast. Right here, they call it Vuhledar. This is a Russian map from Sputnik. Vuhledar right here, the other guys call it Vuhledar. This is the attempt to encircle them. But since Sputnik doesn't do a good job on showing us exactly what's going on, because let me show you how the map is here. You see, it's just a little pinching move here. But I have another, exactly that's the one, right here. You see how this looks, Vuhledar? Right there. So this is clear that Vuhledar will be encircled. That's not only a fear, I think that's going to be a reality. Remember, the Sputnik map shows like this, and the other ones show more of an encirclement. There you go. This is it. So, let's see what these guys are saying here. The situation around Vuhledar is critical and continues to worsen as Russian forces attempt to encircle the city while simultaneously bombarding it with artillery and cab bombs. Analysts from the Deep State Project reported on September 24th. According to the information provided, the defense of Vuhledar is being held by soldiers from the 72nd Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after the Black Zaporozhians. It's going to happen again as it happened in Bakhmut, Artemovsk, and not only. They will be told to evacuate too late. The Russians will encircle them, and then they will say, well, it was an organized retreat or redeployment on the other defensive lines. They will do the same thing. I covered that when that happened in Bakhmut, and that was a garbage move from the, I would say, not so Ukrainian government. The same Marinka happened the same way, and Avdiivka happened the same way. Too late, a little bit too late. Remember Mariupol? Was Mariupol? Well, you had it was Mariupol with Azovstal steel plant. The same thing. The Russians encircled them over there because these guys did not. I'm going to show you Mariupol. Is right here at the Azov Sea, and right here in Donetsk. So they were told to evacuate too late, and they were encircled in the Azovstal steel plant. Again, 2,600 prisoners were taken, or they went to Russia. That's how these guys reported it. All right, let's see how the Ukrainians report their alleged advance in Kursk Oblast, which is Russia. Now, if someone attacks my country, let's say, I think I'm allowed to attack your country. So the Russians cry that the Ukrainians invaded their territory, how's that? It's shitty for you, but that's it. Because from the other side, as bad as the other guys are, I mean, what did you expect? Not a punch in the face, the same as the guys in Japan. What did they expect? That the Russians, Chinese, and North Koreans were just in the night or something? No. Let's go and see what's going on here in Kursk. New Voice of Ukraine. Ukrainian Armed Forces push forward in Kursk after recent border breakthrough. So, we got a Nissan. Right there. Ukrainian Defense Forces recently advanced in the Glutsky district of Russia's Kursk Oblast, according to a new report from the Institute for the Study of War on September 24th. These guys, Institute for the Study of War, are not trustworthy whatsoever. I will tell you why. They misinformed in, I think it was about April 2022. It was the first time when I understood that these guys are not kosher. But they are kosher because there are some Kegans over there, and the Kegans are related to Victoria Nuland. So when you read that, you know who exactly the Institute for the Study of War is. Therefore, a lot of cautions. Caution? I suggest you employ. Geolocation footage released on September 23rd shows that Ukrainian armed forces have recently advanced to the southern outskirts of Vesele, southwest of Gruskovo. Now let's see where this, how do you call it? Kursk is. Kursk is right here. Skuzi. Remember that one? Alright, so this is Glechkovka, Gonchkolkamkovka, Glechkaviska, Kompolevska. So here is where the whole invasion occurs, but the Russians, according to the Russians, they had some run-ins here and here and here. We'll find out what's going on. Maybe we're going to look over the other map, which is more detailed and updated, the one that I used for Vuhledar. Bear with me and see if these guys show anything. If with the maps, well, these guys show a little different right here. So this is that map of coming from the updated one, live map, and the other one comes from the Russians. So it's a little bit different. The Russians show these ins, pam, but these ones don't really show anything here. All right, let's go back to the next article. Coming from GMA, Russia fires barrage at Ukraine as Zelensky pitches war-winning plan at United Nations. And we have 3 operatives here. Obviously, diversity is not our strength. Anyway, this guy was a campaign he ran in Bill Clinton's, Hillary Clinton's campaign. She's over there and he's over there, you know why. And let's move. Russia launched a major missile and drone attack into Ukraine overnight into Tuesday, coinciding with President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the US. I don't know why the double Y is at the end. Why there are not three of them. This week, where the Ukrainian leader is seeking American international support for Kiev's victory. Okay. Ukraine's Air Force wrote on Telegram that 4 missiles, holy moly macaroni, 1 Iskander-M, 2 Kh-5969, we like that one, and 1 of the undermined type, were fired into northern and central Ukraine overnight. Russia also launched 81 Shahed drone attacks, the air defense said, of which 66 is the number of the... Alright, 6 is Iron Maiden song. 66 were shot down and 13 blocked by radio jamming. So 76, 76... I'm sorry, yeah, 76, 79. So that means out of 81, 79 were fucked. That means only 2, okay, ichni, 2 reached the territory, right? Because it's end. So 66, 76, 79 out of, what was it, 81 was it? What the hell was this? What is it? All right, Jesus Christ, 81. So that means what? 2, 3, what? Just 2 were able to hit the target, the main direction of the attack in the north and central of Ukraine. So let's see what they hit. Ukraine's energy ministry, meanwhile, noted that energy facilities in 6 regions of the country were attacked, resulting in local power outages. How in the hell, if you have two, according to you, 2 drones escaped and how many? 4 missiles. So that's 6. Right there. And it says exactly 6 regions of the country were attacked, resulting in local power outages. Ukraine's southern city of Zaporozhye also came under fire on Monday evening, according to Governor Papapap. Let's see what else. He comes to sit down with these guys. Ukraine is fantastic. Well, this is what they say. And this is the evidence. Like always, I like to present evidence right there. Ukrainska Pravda, Ukrainian Air Defense Forces shot down 66 Shahed over Ukraine at night. And here is the number. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, it's 66 for you right there. That's the evidence. And again, Russian troops, they did that, were shot down, and it says that the result of the anti-aircraft battle, 66 enemy attack UAVs were shot down in Kiev, Zhytomyr, Cherkasy, Vinnytsia, Kirovohrad, Poltava, Sumy, and Mykolaiv Oblast. So that, according to this beautiful map, should be Poltava, Cherkasy, Kiev, Zhytomyr. This is the area where they went. Then they got Mykolaiv down here, Cherkasy. So Poltava, this is the area where they attack. But nevertheless, remember, there was 4 missiles and 2 drones. Well, good for them, I guess, right? And we find the same thing from another one, which is the same source actually, which is Ukrinform. Ukrainian forces down 66 Russian strike drones overnight. Pop, the same thing. They did it. Good for them. So let's go and see now. Drone debris damages energy infrastructure in Poltava Oblast, leaving 20 settlements without power. I always like to go over the consequences of the Russians' failed attacks, where you have, I don't know, thousands of consumers without power, or Oblast, you know, this is all, the energy is not to be found. And that tells me that the Russians actually hit targets. But not lately, that's been for 2 years or almost, I think. The interpretation is not that the Russians hit the targets, but the debris of the drones or the missiles, they cause the damage. Now, to say that, it's imbecilic. I mean, you don't have to watch movies for that. Just imagine you are at these guys are destroying the drones with a mobile pop, and other things. You don't destroy that. Let's say this is the target. The drone comes, is about to hit over there. You don't hit it 3 seconds before it hits the target and then the debris just spread and fall over. You hit it, I don't know, 5 miles, 2 miles, 1 mile, 500 yards, something, somewhere. And when you hit it, it doesn't just go and somehow it hits the infrastructure. That's a garbage. Remember, when you hear these guys that only the debris of something that they hit the target, it's a lie, most likely. Let's put it this way. You remember that F-16? Now they come with, the F-16, the one that was downed, I'm sorry, crashed. Now they say it was because of the debris that he shot. The F-16 shot the incoming missile because it's so good, and then somehow caught back and the debris hit it and it fell. It was not an imbecilic friendly fire, because they would have been too imbecilic. It was not the pilot, okay, and it was not the plane. The plane is perfect. It was, just the debris that the plane destroyed the missile, and buy one get one premium price. So that's why I like to look at this with the debris. Just pay attention. The Russians never hit unless these guys want more money, and when they want more money, they say the Russians destroyed that, the Russians destroyed it, or the Russians are very good, it seems like, destroying kindergarten, hospitals, and things like this, but not military targets. Why? We have air defense systems, man. Anyway, garbage. Let's go to the last topic of this video. Ukrainska Pravda. Russia plans to increase military spending in 2025. Bloomberg tells us. Great job. Let's see how much. To how much. Russia plans to increase defense spending to $142 billion, or 6.2% of gross domestic product in 2025. All right, the other guys got to about 90, if I remember correctly from the video yesterday. So 142. So let's look at the list. This is the list. A country spending in billions out of the GDP, the percentage, and here it is from the global spending, how much they do. So the first one obviously is we are, but we call Viktor Baut, the Russian guy, he is the merchant of death. But the United States of America has what? The 37% of the global market is covered by the United States. But when I talk about Viktor Baut being the merchant of death, I mean, this is garbage. That's why when you hear these things, you say, guys, I mean, they come with something smarter. But they don't have to. You know why? Because the baboons, they are the target audience. United States, 916, almost $1 trillion. 3.44% of the budget. China, 296. Russia is 109. Now it's going to be 140 some. What was that? 142. So they're going to go from 109 to 142. And Ukraine from 64 is going to go to about 90. But this money is not created by Ukraine. This is coming from other idiots, baboons. Well, that's the way it is, my friends. You're going to increase that. The arm manufacturing companies will have a blast. They already have it. That's why wars are good for them. Therefore, it makes you use that little thing called que bono, who benefits, and then you find out who might be behind certain kind of unprovoked invasions. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.